Welcome to this HelloID webinar brought to you by Tools Forever. Today we'd like to give you an overview of the new functionality in HelloID. We encourage you to ask questions. You can do this via the WebEx chat option. You can find the option here. At the end of the demonstration, your questions will be answered. I'd like to turn this over to Tjeerd Seinen, HelloID Product Manager. He will explain and demonstrate the new HelloID functionality. Enjoy, and don't forget to post the questions.
Jamie, thank you for your introduction. In this webinar, I'd like to go through the new functions and features in 4.6 and I'd like to give you a heads up on 4.7. Okay, so that's the contents. Explain you the new functionality in 4.6 and give you a heads up of 4.7. First item, explain and demo new functionality, the target SAML IDP mapper. And I'd like to explain that via this sheet, and then I will show you the software afterwards. So this is the gray block, this is HelloID. So this is the HelloID functionality. And if I go to HelloID as a user, I get the option to identify myself. And that's being handled by the IDP, identity provider in HelloID. And then you have multiple options. You can do that via or against the Active Directory. So then as an end user, I identify myself basically with the user and username password in the Active Directory. But I can also do that against a SAML IDP, for example, Salesforce, or I can do that internally inside HelloID. So then I'm basically identifying myself against HelloID itself. So let's take this one as the example, the SAML IDP. If I configure it this way in HelloID, then I basically identify myself inside Salesforce. Then I get a SAML session, and then I'm also identified in HelloID. And from there on, I go and get access to HelloID. So then I have access to the portal, and from the portal I can start different applications. And of course, it can be a cloud application. So this is basically if I click on one of these applications, then this actually happens. Then I get access to this cloud application as this same person. And I can do that, of course, multiple times. And that can be SAML, OpenID Connect, multiple options. Okay, so what have we changed? What is new functionality in 4.6, the release that we have released last Sunday? It is the identity provider catalog. So now it's a lot easier to configure external IDPs. Salesforce is the one you see here down below. If I click in the management portal in the admin section in HelloID, then I can do this. I will show you later on in the software how it looks like. So if I add a new IDP, I get a wizard. Via the wizard, that's already been pre-configured. A lot of fields are already being pre-filled, so it's a lot easier now to configure an IDP. I also have a mapper. The mapper is here. I will show you in the software, and now it is very easy to map information from the IDP to HelloID. So here you determine what information is being transferred from Salesforce in this example to HelloID. I will show you in the software how this works and how this looks like. So let me go to the software, and here I am at HelloID. I need to identify myself, and now I have the different identification options. I can choose for Active Directory, but I will choose Salesforce SAML IDP, and I will be logging in with my Salesforce credentials. So logging in as Tjeerd, password, identifying myself against the IDP, Salesforce, successfully logged in, redirected back to HelloID. And now I'm identified inside HelloID. If you look at my profile, this information is sent from the SAML IDP to HelloID, and that's basically being done by the mapper. So this information is actually information that is coming from Salesforce in this example. So let me show you how you can configure this. I'm already logged in as the admin, and if I go to security, authentication, identity providers, we revised the screen a little bit, so the design is changed. Here is the Salesforce IDP, and here all the settings and configuration, of course, and here is the configuration mapping. This is new functionality where you can see that you can send information from Salesforce, so it's username, email address, etc., first name, last name, and that's being mapped on information in HelloID. Let me also show you. I need to do that correctly. No, I'm wrong. Identity provider. You also have the option here, create provider. That's the catalog with all pre-configured identity providers that are currently available inside HelloID. Okay, so please post any questions if you have any questions or remarks on this. And now let me continue on the outlook on the 4.7 release that will be available by the end of July. So let me go back to the PowerPoint presentation. So let me go to the next topic of this webinar. I already explained this new functionality 4.6. And again, let me give a heads up of the upcoming release. And that will be end of July 4.7. I already covered the functionality in the previous webinar, but I'd like to give an update and introduce some new items. More advanced workflows, filtering, delegation of workflows, the new request inbox, and provisioning technology. And this will be all available by the end of this month, July. Okay, so currently you have this option. This is in a product, Adobe Photoshop in this case. It's only being managed by one person, so there is not really a workflow. Well, there is a workflow, but it's basically a one-step workflow. And now with the 4.7 release, we will be introducing a lot more functionality in this area. So then you have a multiple step approval. In this example, it's the manager of the user, then it's a fixed user, Tjeerd Seinen, then an advanced filter, that's based on information that is available in IDP. So you can say, I like to specify a group where specific attributes are perhaps people in the sales department. This is a fixed group, so that's just a group in HelloID. So this is basically a filter, and I'll explain that a little bit later on. So here you can create your own filter. Here's the sales, so this filter here, sales, is this one. And you have the filter definition. So basically you say that everybody that is in sales and has the job title account manager will be part of this filter. So anybody that is part of the sales team and is account manager will be asked to approve the request. That will be a very powerful mechanism, and it will be available anywhere in HelloID, not in 4.5, 4.7 upcoming release, but that will be available in workflows first. But then we will be adding it to other segments of HelloID, a powerful mechanism, filtering. Another item is approval. So part of your profile, you can do approval preferences. So basically that's the delegation mechanism. And here what I say is that I delegate my approval role to somebody else. So here Jan is delegating his approval preferences to Tjeerd Seinen, and he does that, he can do that till a particular date in time. So now the request is being sent to Jan, but also to Tjeerd Seinen, and Tjeerd Seinen can approve it for Jan. It's a level of delegation. The inbox, this is the current inbox. This is the new inbox, this is already available. So it has a complete brand new view. And of course we had to do this because we have only handled by, that's one person in the workflow, and now we can't have multiple people going to be able to do approval. So we also had to change this interface, but it's now a lot nicer too. You can approve straight from the messaging API, so I can also approve here. I can do that here, and as you already been used to, you can also do it from an email message. Another topic, this is the fine-grained events. Currently today we have this event mechanism that you can find here in the events automation, and we will be adding this. So there's actually basically an extra column where you can specify more detailed events. So today you only have update or create event, but then you can say, well, I only want to execute the create event if somebody is going to get an onboarding event or a start date in 5 days from now. So that's not the update or the create event is actually being executed now, but with the fine-grained events, you can actually say, I want to have that a little bit more detailed. So you can say, it's not now, but it is 5 days before. So that's a fine-grained event. So then you have more specific onboarding event. That will also be available by the end of this month, and we'll be able to create more sophisticated provisioning processes. Another item is that if you want to create a new person as part of the perhaps create event, you have to specify all these different attributes. That will be part of the mapper. So basically you can say it's only a provisioning system. It's only the provisioning system, then all the information actually coming from the system definition. So you don't have to fill in all these fields anymore. I think a little bit complicated to explain, but I would just want to give you a heads up on this item. When this software is available, I will create a detailed conceptual diagram and explain this in a lot more detail. Okay, well, thank you for today, for your attention and your time. If you have any questions, post them on WebEx, and then I will start answering them right now. Thank you.